Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is a video in Engineering Economy 1, and this is Engineering Economy 2, rather, and this is part 1. We'll discuss here about uniform gradients. And we have here first case 1, arithmetic gradient, wherein this is the cash flow diagram, and at the end of each period, this is the payment. We have a constant payment, then we increase that uniformly arithmetically by g sub a. So that's why you have 0 g sub a here. Or the next, at the end of the second period, we have a plus 1 ga. Third period, 1 plus 2 ga, and so on and so forth. So at the end period, based on this pattern here, it should be a plus quantity m minus 1 g sub a. So for instance, at the third period, it is only 2. So that's why at the end of the m period, it is m minus 1 g sub a, and so on and so forth until the end period, which is a plus quantity n minus 1 times g sub a. So before the derivation of these formulas, the idea is we have to split this cash flow diagram into uniform with equal payments of A, which is annuity, and the other one is uniform but either increasing, in this case increasing, or decreasing payment arithmetically. So from 0 GA, 1 GA up to quantity n minus 1 G sub A. So the present worth is given by, so if you're going to analyze, it is the present worth of annuity. Equal payments is A. So if you can recall, the present value of an annuity is equal to A over I quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n from the preceding discussion or preceding videos. So present worth of arithmetic gradient is, take note that this term is the present value of equal payments, annuity, A over I, quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n. And this is the present value of this payment, which is uniform also from 0 to n minus 1 g sub a, which we're going to derive on the next slide. So because the formula is difficult to memorize, although if you know the principle, you can derive this. Or my suggestion is, if the number of payments is, let us say, within 10, then you can compute or you can project the present value of each individual payment. So for example, this payment here to be present is A, because the other one is 0 G sub A. So A over 1 plus I to the power 1, right? Present value is future divided by 1 plus I to the n. And n is 1 for this first end of this first period. For the second period, you divide this by 1 plus I to the power 2. Then this one, a plus 2ga divided by 1 plus I to the power 3, and so on and so forth until the end, this value divided by 1 plus I to the power n. So that's my suggestion instead of memorizing this formula if you cannot do it. So likewise, the future worth is derived by simply multiplying this present value by 1 plus I to the n. So future worth of a single payment is present times quantity 1 plus I to the power n. So I will not write the formula. If you're going to multiply this by 1 plus I to the n, then the formula becomes A over I times quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1, then plus G sub A over I. 1 plus I to the n will be cancelled, so G sub A over I quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I, then minus n. That would be the future worth. from this formula, all you have to do is multiply this formula by 1 plus I to the n. And it becomes Fa equals A quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I, then plus G sub A over I quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I minus n. So that's the formula after we multiply this expression by 1 plus I to the n. So that's my suggestion also. If you don't want to memorize this formula, then as uh, recommended or suggested earlier, we have to project each payment by dividing 1 plus I to the power n, where n is the number here, the period here. So to derive the present worth of uniform arithmetic gradient, so again, we split this cash flow diagram into two parts. One is uniform annuity, and you know already the value of P1, A over I, quantity 1 minus quantity 1 plus I to the negative n, then plus this uniform gradient, arithmetic gradient, which looks like this. So let's focus to the to this cash flow diagram, and the present worth is denoted by P sub 2. Then the suggestion is, again, we have to divide, to project each payment into the present. So P sub 2 is equal to 0 G sub A over 1 plus I to the 1 plus 1 G sub A over 1 plus I square. Then project this to the present, 2 G sub A over 1 plus I cube, and so on and so forth. So this one is n minus 2 G sub A over 1 plus I to the power n minus 1. And lastly, this one, n minus 1 G sub A divided by 1 plus I to the n. So take note, this is only for the present worth of this second part of the cash flow diagram, which we split into uniform and this arithmetic uniform arithmetic gradient payment. Then next we multiply everything by 1 plus I. So that would be P2 times 1 plus I equals 0, still 0, but over 1, plus G sub A over 1 plus I to the 1, 2GA over 1 plus I square, plus dot 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 n minus 2 GA over 1 plus I to the n minus 2, then n minus 1 G sub A over 1 plus I raised to n minus 1, then call that equation B. We then subtract equation A from equation B, or equation B minus equation A. It becomes P sub 2 1 plus I, or P sub 2 plus P sub 2I minus P2. So the left side becomes just P2I, and the right side would be, example, G sub A over 1 plus I minus, this is 0. So that is 0. So this term minus that term there is 0. Anyway, this is 0. So we cannot, the first term here should be G sub A over 1 plus I to the 1. So 0, GA over 1 plus I minus 0 is G sub A over 1 plus I. Then for this difference, this one, so this one will not be part of the subtraction. So it should be no term minus that. So it would be negative in the appearance after we subtract equation A from equation B. So this one also will give us the same difference of GA over 1 plus I. So that would still be GA over 1 plus I to the n minus 1, of course. G sub A over 1 plus I to the n minus 1. So take note, we have NGA, then then negative NGA, so cancel NGA, negative GA and negative of negative 2, so positive 2GA, so that's why 2GA minus GA is GA, then divided by this common denominator, so it's the same. So therefore, equation B minus equation A becomes P2I equals G sub A is common to all terms, so we have G sub A over 1 plus I, this is the first difference, then plus 1 GA over 1 plus I square, and so on and so forth until this, which is this, G sub A times 1 over 1 plus I to the n minus 1, then minus this term which is not part of the subtraction. So minus quantity n minus 1 GA, which is factored out, over 1 plus I to the n. So take note that this first term up to here, and we distribute also negative of negative 1 over 1 plus I to the n. So there is 1 over 1 plus I to the n as last term here. So P sub 2 equals G sub A over I. So P sub 2 here. Then we simplify this last term here into, copy this, then plus 1 over 1 plus I to the n. Then we have minus n over 1 plus I to the n. So this last term there. So close. And we note that this term up to here are in geometric progression. And remember, the sum of geometric progression is 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. So that is first term, A1, this is the first term, quantity 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. If you can recall sum of geometric progression, we use that formula because the common ratio r is less than 1. 1 over 1 plus I is definitely less than 1. That's why we use that formula. Instead of first term quantity r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1, it is the same as first term quantity 1 minus r to the n all over 1 minus r. So I use this formula here because r is less than 1. As I mentioned, r is 1 over 1 plus I, and that's the ratio of the second divided by the first, third divided by the second, and so on and so forth. Then, the first term is 1 over 1 plus I. So substitute 1 over 1 plus I, quantity 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I to the n, over 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I, 1 minus r. And take note that this is 1 plus I to the negative 1, then raised to negative 10. So this is 1 minus quantity 1 plus I to the negative n. While this one is 1 plus I minus 1, so I divided by 1 plus I, and we cancel 1 plus I. So this simplifies to 1 over I, quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n. So 1 over, simplifying further, 1 over 1 plus I, 1 minus quantity 1 plus I to the negative n, over, as I mentioned, this is 1 plus I minus 1, so I over 1 plus I. We cancel 1 plus I. So that is 1 over I, quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n. We then replace this terms here by that value, and we copy this and this. So P sub 2 therefore is equal to G sub A over I, quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n over I minus n over 1 plus I to the n. So this is the present worth of this cash flow diagram. So after deriving this formula for the future worth 2, you just multiply it by 1 plus I to the n. Remember? So if you project that to the future, you just multiply that by 1 plus I to the n. Likewise, this present worth is equivalent to P1 plus P2, where P1, remember, is A over I, quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n, present worth of annuity, and the future worth is P sub 2 times 1 plus I to the n. You multiply this by 1 plus I to the n. I will not mention it because you will be bombarded with so many formulas. This is enough if you want to memorize, but there's another technique in order not to memorize this. The suggestion in the preceding slide that I made. So that's F2, and P is P1 plus P2. So the formula introduced in the preceding slide gives us this P here, and P1 is equal to A over I1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n, as mentioned, and that is P sub 2. Then you combine, then that's the formula introduced in the preceding slides. Then for future worth, F1 of annuity, which is A over I, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1, right? And F2 is this P sub 2 here multiplied by 1 plus I to the n. So that F is simply F1 plus F2, and so that you will not be bombarded with so many formulas. So again, F1 is A over I, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1, remember, for this annuity. And P sub 2 is G A over I, quantity, this formula here. It is the same as this. This is also 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I, then 1 plus I to the n, then G A over I, then minus n over 1 plus I to the n, so that G sub A over I times quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I, 1 plus I to the n minus n over 1 plus I to the n is multiplied by 1 plus I to the n to derive F2, so that F is just F1 plus F2. So if we want to derive or to transform this cash flow diagram into uniform cash flow diagram, that is, if we have to convert this into uniform payments, A sub 2, then all you have to do is equate the present value of this uniform arithmetic gradient to the to the present value of an annuity uniform payments with value equal to A2. So what is the present worth when this is converted to uniform payments like this, and this is A2? So present value of annuity also. So that's why it is equated to A sub 2 over I, then quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 all over 1 plus I to the n. So simplifying, A sub 2 would be G sub A over quantity 1 over I minus n over 1 plus I to the n. 1 plus I to the n, then that would be minus 1. So that's the equal payment. Again, the idea is the present worth of this uniform arithmetic gradient is equated to the present value of annuity, and the equivalent uniform payment is A sub 2. So the formula is A sub 2 over I, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 all over 1 plus I to the n, and that results to A sub 2 equals G sub A over quantity times quantity 1 over I minus n over quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1. So that's it for this part. The future worth of uniform arithmetic gradient, therefore, is the future worth of the first part, which is annuity A, which is A over I, quantity uh, 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I. Remember, A over I, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1, that's the future worth of annuity, plus the future worth of the uniform arithmetic gradient, which is P sub 2 times 1 plus I to the n. And that results to, so don't be confused with n prime here. That is just, you may just call it n here. Number of payments, that's the number of payments. So remember, this is the future worth of the uniform payments A, which is the first part, and this is the uniform payment. This is the future worth of P2 by multiplying the formula for P2 by quantity 1 plus I to the n. And this is F2, by the way, which we derived in the preceding slide. G sub A, it was G sub A over I, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I minus n. So that's it. But as I said, you just memorize formula for present value of uniform arithmetic gradient, then everything can be derived. You may not memorize this anymore because F future worth is simply present worth of uniform arithmetic gradient PAG in the preceding slide multiplied by 1 plus I to the n as my suggestion.
So let us continue for uniform gradient. This is case 1, and this is the entire cash flow diagram for this case. So we have here A plus G sub G quantity 1 plus R to the 0. So this is uh, G sub G for this case. Then we'll have A plus G sub G. This is G sub G times 0 rather, times 0. This is A plus G sub G times 1 plus R to the 0. Then A plus G sub G 1 plus R square, and so on and so forth. So that at the end period, it is A plus G sub G 1 plus R to the n minus 1. And let's continue that up to the end period, which is A plus G quantity 1 plus R to the n minus 1. So if we let Q equals quantity 1 plus R over 1 minus 1 plus I, the complete derivation of this is on the next slide. So I'll derive the formula for the present worth of just the portion where we have geometric gradient. So these values here were that case. So the present worth of this arithmetic gradient is given by, and again, we will derive this on the next slide. So P sub GG is the present worth of this uniform payments, which is annuity A. And where this is A, the present worth of annuity A, then quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n over I. Present worth of A uniform, right? Then plus the present worth of this geometric gradient. So this portion here, this increasing payment in addition to this fixed payment. And as I said, this will be derived on the next slide. And the future worth is simply multiplying this by 1 plus I to the n, and I will not write it here so that you will not be bombarded with so many formulas. So note that Q is not 1 in this second term here. This is the present worth of just the portion that is we have geometric gradient. This is the present worth of the uniform um, payments or present worth of annuity, remember. Then P sub Gg is A over I quantity 1 minus quantity 1 plus I to the negative n, which is that 10 plus G over 1 plus I. If we factor this into 1 minus Q, 1 plus Q, 1 minus Q to the n, factors will be 1 minus Q quantity 1 plus Q squared plus dot plus Q to the n minus 1 over copy 1 minus Q. And if Q is equal to 1, then take note that we can cancel 1 minus Q here. Then when Q is equal to 1, we can say that this is 1 plus 1 plus 1 square plus dot plus 1 to the n minus 1. This is still 1. And there will be n times 1. So we replace this by n, this part here, or we replace this by n. Yes. So if Q is 1, R is I for that case. So 1 plus I over 1 plus I. So that means R is I. Then the present worth of this geometric gradient would be reduced to G sub G times N over 1 plus I because this is just replaced by N. So P sub Gg is present worth of uniform payments, A quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative N over I, plus present worth of this portion where we have geometric gradient. And it reduces to this when Q is equal to 1. So the future worth is simple if written as simply PGG times 1 plus I to the n. And I will not provide you with the formula. You just multiply the whole of this by 1 plus I to the n. Another solution would be, or another recommendation or suggestion so that you will not be bombarded with the formulas is we just project these payments made at this equal periods of time to the present by multiplying each by 1 plus I to the power n. So for instance, for this case, we divide this value by 1 plus I to the power 2, this value by 1 plus I to the power 3, and so on and so forth. So that's the idea for that case. So this is the second part wherein I derive the present worth of the portion of the cash flow diagram where we have uniform geometric gradient. So the payment here is G sub G times 1 plus R to the 0 or simply G sub G. Then this is G sub G 1 plus R to the 1, G sub G 1 plus R square, so that at the end of the end period, it is G sub G times 1 plus R to the n minus 1. You just look at the pattern. So at the end period, it is G sub G quantity 1 plus R to the n minus 1. So I hope you can follow. And so that is G sub G quantity 1 plus R to the n minus 1. So we project each payments to the present by dividing this by 1 plus I to the power n. So for this payment, for example, we divide that by 1 plus I to the 1. This one, we divide this value by 1 plus I square. This one, 1 plus I cube, and so on. Then this one, 1 plus I to the n. And we let Q be 1 plus R over 1 plus I. So the present worth of this arithmetic gradient, So it's like now arithmetic gradient is given by P sub G just for this portion, G sub G over 1 plus I, geometric gradient is given by G sub G over 1 plus I quantity 1 minus Q to the N over 1 minus Q. So let's derive this formula now. Then if Q is 1, R is I, and 1 minus Q to the N over 1 minus Q equals N as before in the preceding slide. So we will show that now. So that P sub Gg reduces to G sub G times N over 1 plus I. So we replace this by N, the whole of this by N, which is shown here. So that would be the resulting present worth of geometric gradient only for this portion. So where P is the principal PGG, principal amount or present worth, G sub G is amount at the end of the first period, which is here G sub G quantity 1 plus R to the 0, so that's G sub G. High interest rate per payment are percentage increase or decrease in payment, and N is the number of interest periods. So as if we denote the present worth of these payments here with is described as geometric tangent, then each of this is the sum of the present worth of each of these payments by dividing this by 1 plus I to the power n. So for this first period, at the end of this first period, we have to divide it by 1 plus I to the 1. And take note that G sub G 1 plus R to the 0 is just G sub G. So this one, we divide this by 1 plus I square. This one, 1 plus I cube, and so on and so forth. Then the last G sub G, quantity 1 plus R to the n minus 1 divided by 1 plus I to the n. So next, we factor out G sub G and multiply and divide by 1 plus R over 1 plus R. So it's still 1. So it becomes G sub G over 1 plus R. Then this is the factor in the numerator. So 1 plus R over 1 plus R. So it is just G sub G because that is 1. Then this term here, after we factor out, becomes 1 plus R over 1 plus I. This becomes 1 plus R squared over 1 plus I squared. 1 plus R cubed over 1 plus I cubed, and so on until the last, which is 1 plus R to the n over 1 plus I to the n. So take note that these are in geometric progression or series, and we denoted this ratio as Q. So this is Q, Q squared, Q cubed plus dot 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 Q to the n. So P sub 2 equals G sub G over 1 plus R, quantity Q plus Q squared plus Q cubed plus dot 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 Q to the n. We notice that these terms are in geometric progression or series and with common ratio Q, and the sum of this geometric progression is equal to first term Q, then quantity 1 minus R. The common ratio is also Q, so 1 minus Q to the n all over 1 minus Q. So S sub Q equals Q first term, then quantity 1 minus Q to the n, because the common ratio is Q, over 1 minus Q, sum of geometric terms in geometric progression. So we factor this into 1 minus Q times quantity 1 plus Q squared plus dot 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 Q to the n minus 1. That's the factor to that. So P sub 2 therefore is equal to G sub G over 1 plus R quantity Q. We replace these terms inside these brackets as the equivalent Q, quantity 1 minus Q to the n over 1 minus Q. And we factor this as, So P sub 2 equals G sub G times 1 plus R. We replace Q back to 1 plus R over 1 plus I, and divided by 1 plus R. Then quantity 1 minus Q to the n over 1 minus Q. We can cancel 1 plus R. So this reduces to G sub G over 1 plus I. And we factor this into 1 minus, this is the original formula here, which is this. After we replace, which is this rather, after we replace Q, we replace this Q here by 1 plus R over 1 plus I. So this reduces to P sub 2 is equal to G sub G over 1 plus I, then quantity 1 minus Q to the n over 1 minus Q, provided Q is not equal to 1. Now, if Q is 1, we factor this, so G sub G over 1 plus I, then 1 minus Q to the n is 1 minus Q, quantity 1 plus Q squared, plus dot Q to the n minus 1. So cancelling out 1 minus Q first, and take note that when Q is equal to 1, then there will be 1 plus 1 plus 1 squared. All of this will be 1, and there are n times this 1 terms. So we replace this by simply n, and the formula for P2 reduces to G sub G n over 1 plus I. So if Q is 1, when R is I, then P sub 2 is equal to, or P sub GG is equal to G sub n over 1 plus I, provided Q is 1. So take note that P sub GG and P sub 2 are equal. The present worth of this geometric gradient series or payments.
So we now apply the uh, formulas that we have just derived, that I have just derived for uniform arithmetic gradient and geometric gradient. So for the first example, 28, this is the problem. A certain machine purchased today shall be paid in 5 annual and equal payments with no down payment. If the company agrees that the first payment is 120,000 pesos at the end of the first year, and you must increase that payment by 30,000 pesos per year for the next remaining years until the end of the fifth year, how much is the present worth of the machine if the company charges 12% annual interest? So this falls under uniform arithmetic gradient, and this is the scheduled payments, 120,000 pesos during the first year, then increase 30,000 pesos per year, so 150,000, 180,000, 210,000, then 240,000 after the fifth year. So for the solution, without memorizing the formula for the present worth of these payments, then I'll just use summation notation. It begins with 20,000 pesos, and it is to be increased by 30,000 times x. So summation of quantity 120,000 plus 30,000 x divided by, because we're going to compute the present worth, so this is divided by 1.12 to the power x plus 1. If the denominator is x plus 1, that means the value of x begins with 0 and it ends with 4, so that there will be 5 payments. So 0, it begins with 0, so raised to 1, then 0 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 2 plus 1, 2 plus 3, 4, then, or 3 plus 1, 4, then 4 plus 1, 5. So it is present worth equals quantity summation of 0 to 4 of 120,000 plus 30,000 x over 1.12 to the power x plus 1. So let's check. When x is 0, this is 120,000, and we divide 120,000 by 1.12 raised to 0 plus 1 raised to 12. Then if x is 1, 120,000 plus 30,000 times 1, this is 120,000 at the end of year 2. So the denominator should be 1.12 raised to 1 plus 1 to 2. Then for the last, x is 4, 120,000 plus 30,000 times 4. That's 240,000, correct? Then divided by 1.12 raised to 4 plus 1, which is raised to 5 because it occurs at the end of the 5 years. So this formula is correct. Using your calculator, summation key, then you'll get the other formula. By the way, if you begin at 1 and end at 5, so this is also the alternate solution. So 120,000 plus 30,000 times quantity x minus 1, so that it begins when x is 1, this is 0, so 120,000, then 1.12 raised to 1. Then let's check the last. 120,000, x is 5, so 5 minus 1, 4 times 30,000, so it's also 240,000. Then 1.12 raised to 5 is the same as this. When x is 4, 1.12 raised to 5. So calculating using your calculator either of these expressions, you'll get 624.483.6. The other way, using your calculator also, let's project each of these payments to the present by dividing 1.12 raised to n in general, where n is the number here. So 120 divided by 1.12 raised to 1 plus 150,000 divided by 1.12 raised to 2 plus 180,000 divided by 1.12 raised to 3 plus 210,000 divided by 1.12 raised to 4 plus 240,000 divided by 1.12 raised to 5. So solving for P, the present worth, it is also 624,483.6. Now let's proceed to the formula. So we split the cash flow diagram into two parts. One is uniform, present worth of uniform payment, where A is 120,000, is A quantity 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n divided by I. Then for this uniform arithmetic gradient, the formula is G sub arithmetic gradient, wherein G sub A is 30,000 divided by I times quantity 1 plus I quantity to the n minus 1 all over I, or all over 1 plus I, then 1 plus I to the n, then minus n over 1 plus I to the n. So again, 1 plus I, GA, the present worth of this uniform arithmetic gradient is G sub A, and quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 all over 1 plus I to the n, then minus n over 1 plus I to the n. So P sub AG, 1 minus 1 plus I to the negative n over I, present worth of uniform payment, G sub A over I, 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I, 1 plus I to the n, and minus n over 1 plus I to the n. This formula was derived in the preceding slides. Remember, And that's the expression for present worth of this uniform arithmetic gradient, where G sub A is 30,000, I is 0.12, N is 5, and A is 120,000. So substituting 120,000 quantity 1 minus 1.12 to the negative 5 over 0.12 plus 30,000 over 0.12 quantity 1.12 to the 5 minus 1 over 0.12 times 1.12 to the 5, then minus 5 over 1.12 to the 5. Solving for P is equal to same 624.483.6. So maybe you can remember this approach because there are only 5 values to be projected to the present. I suggest that you present your solution in this manner because you don't need to memorize. This is basic, projecting one single value to the present. If you can set up this solution, then do it. But if you can memorize this formula, then also do it. So whichever is convenient to you. So for problem or example 29, for the cash flow diagram shown, find the values of P and F if I is 15% per year. So the cash flow diagram is given, and if you notice, this cash flow diagram is a uniform uh, geometric gradient wherein the first payment after the end of 1 year is 10,000 and the next is 11,200. So that means this is increased per year by 12%. So that is R is 0.12. So A, then 1.12, 10,000 times 1.12 is 11,200. Then 10,000 times 1.12 square is 12,544, or the other way is 11,200 times 1.12 is 12,544. Then 12,544 times 1.12 is this 12 40,049.28 times 1.12 is equal to this. Then 15,735.2 times 1.12 is 176.23.42, or 10,000 times 1.12, 11,200. 10,000 times 1.12 square, 12,544. 10,000 times 1.12 cube, that's the value. 10,000 times 1.12 to the fourth, that's the value. 10,000 times 1.12 raised to 5 that's the value. So the present worth of uniform geometric gradient derived in the preceding slides is A over 1 plus I, quantity 1 minus Q to the N over 1 minus Q, where Q is not 1 in this case because R is 0.12 and I is 0.15. So formula P sub GG, or present worth of this geometric gradient, is A over 1 plus I, then quantity 1 minus Q to the N over 1 minus Q, where Q is equal to 1 plus R over 1 plus I. So substituting, Q is 1 plus 0.12 over 1 plus 0.15, and that is equal to 112 over 115. So substitute with A is equal to 10,000. So we have P equals 10,000 over 1 plus 0.15 or 1.15, quantity 1 minus Q, which is 112 over 115 raised to N, 6 over 1 minus 112 over 115. Calculating, P is equal to 48,887.33. The other way of computing this present worth is we simply project it to the present. So that is P is equal to 10,000 over 1.15 to the 1 plus 11,200 over 1.15 square plus 12,544 over 1.15 cube plus 14,049.28 over 1.15 to the fourth plus 15,735.2 over 1.15 to the fifth plus 17,623.42 over 1.15 to the sixth. So using your calculator, it will give us the same 48,887.33. Then for the future value, all you have to do is multiply this by 1 plus I to the n. So it is A times 1 plus I to the n minus 1. Then copy this 1 minus q to the n over 1 minus q. Or simply, f is equal to p 1 plus I to the n. So I just use this because we don't need to memorize. This is a mass that you should be able to memorize. So P is equal to 48,887.33 times 1.15 to the 6. So solving for F is also 113,079.4. Another way of computing this F here, it is equal to, we simply project 176 23.42, that's already the future, plus 15,735.2 times 1.15 to the 1, plus 14,049.28 times 1.15 square, plus 12,544 times 1.15 cube, plus 11,200 times 1.15 to the fourth, plus 10,000 times 1.15 to the 5. I'm not showing it here, you solve it that way, and you should be able to obtain the same answer, which is 113,079.4. So for example 30, an employee receives an initial annual salary of 60,000 pesos, increasing at the rate of 5,000 pesos a year. If money is worth 10%, determine her equivalent uniform salary for a period of 8 years. So the cash flow diagram appears to be uniform gradient, arithmetic gradient, and the present or the uniform value is equal to 60,000, which is already uniform, and every year, take note, it is increased by 5,000. So the uniform salary, equivalent uniform salary for a period of 8 years would be equal to 60,000, which is A1, plus the uniform annual increase in salary for the second cash flow diagram, which is uniform arithmetic gradient. So A is equal to A1 plus A2, where A1 is already 60,000 and A2 is the average of this annual increase for 8 years, which is equal to G sub A, where G sub A is 5,000. If you can recall the formula, so G sub A quantity 1 over I minus n over 1 plus I to the n minus 1. So if you can recall that, derived in the preceding slides. So A is 60,000 plus G sub A quantity 1 over I minus n over quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1. So where n is 8 and I is 0.10. I is 0.10. So substituting where G sub A is 5,000, so 60,000 times 5,000 quantity 1 over 0.1 minus 8 over 1.1 to the 8 minus 1. So using your calculator, the value of the uniform annual salary for 8 years is 75,022.39. The other way, the other technique, if you cannot memorize this formula, is we compute the equivalent uniform, the present worth, because we know the cash flow diagram begins first year, at the end of first year 60,000, second year 65,000, third year 70,000, fourth year 75,000, fifth year 80,000, and so on and so forth. Then this annual salary with the increase will be projected to the present by dividing by 1 plus I to the n in general, where n is the position of that uh, annual salary. Then after that, we equate it to the present worth of annuity or annual uniform or equivalent uniform salary, which we denote A, and the formula for present value is A over I, quantity 1 minus quantity 1 plus I to the negative n. So I'll do that because that formula should be remembered by you. That's the basic formula. I don't care if you can also memorize this, but definitely you should memorize the present worth of annuity. So that is, so cash flow diagram beginning with 60,000, divide that by 1.1 to the 1, 60,000 plus 5,000 over 1.1 square, 60,000 plus 10,000, 1.1 cube, 60,000 plus 50,000 divided by 1.1 to the fourth, 60,000 plus 20,000 divided by 1.1 to the 5, 60,000 plus 25,000 divided by 1.1 to the 6, then plus quantity 60,000 plus 30,000 divided by 1.1 to the 7 plus quantity 60,000 plus 35,000 divided by 1.1 to the 8. So stop here using your calculator, although there are 8 terms, but just be patient. Anyway, this approach can be remembered and most of you can relate to this or can apply this solution. So the present value is 400,238.93. Then equate it to A over I, quantity 1 minus quantity 1 plus I to the negative n, where A is the uniform or the equivalent uniform salary. So present value of annuity, remember? So substituting 400,000 to 38.93 equals A over 0.1, quantity 1 minus 1.1 to the negative 8. So solving for A, it should be 75,022.39 also. So that's it for that problem. So for this last example, 31, a series of annual payments are in uniform gradient in which the first year payment is 5,400 plus 600 as the base increase in payment per year. The second is 6,060, which is 5,400 plus 600 plus 10% of 600. The third is 6,126 and pesos and so on, increasing the base payment by 10% every year. So how much is the accumulated value of the payments at the end of the sixth year if the annual interest rate is 12%? So meaning the future worth of this uniform geometric gradient. And we will split it into two parts, and I'll present three solutions here. One is using the cash flow diagram. We project each value to the future by multiplying 1 plus I, 1.12 raised to the power n, where n is the number of spacing to the sixth tier, end of sixth year, and that can be counted. And the second solution is using the summation notation. The third one is using the formula. So I'll consider first the cash flow diagram and I'll explain these values. So the first is 5,400 times 600 times 1.1 to the 0, which is 5,400 plus 600. This 6,060 is 5,400 plus 600 times 1.1 to the 1. This 6126 is 5,400 times 600 times 1.1 square. This 6198.6 is 5,400 times plus 600 times 1.1 cube. This 6278.46 is 5,400 plus 600 times 1.1 to the fourth. And lastly, 6366.306 is 5,400 plus 600 times 1.1 to the fifth. So for the first solution, We begin with 6366.306, then plus 6278.46 times 1.12 raised to 1, plus 6198.6 times 1.12 square, plus 6126 times 1.12 cube, plus 6060 times 1.12 to the fourth, and 6000 times 1.12 to the fifth. So computing for F is equal to 49,889.87. For the summation notation, depending on the limits, so summation of uh, this 5,400 from 0 to 5 of 5,400 plus 600 times 1.1 to the x, then quantity 1.12 to the 5 minus x. So let's study first before you calculate. So let's check the reason why the power of 1.12 is 5 minus x, because it begins with 0. And the value here is when x is 0 is 6,000, which is this is 5,400 plus 600 times 1.1 to the 0 is 600. 600 times 1 plus 5,400, so 6,000. And it is magnified by multiplying 1.12 to the its distance from 6 is 5. That's why 5 minus 0 is 5. So which is correct. If it is the last term, 5,400 plus 600 times 1.1 to the 5, which is 66.306, and its power is 1.12 times 5 minus 5, which is 1.12 to the 0, and which is 1, which is this 6366.306 times 1, and so on and so forth. So this formula is correct. Therefore, using your calculator, it is also 49,889.87. Then finally, for the formula, the formula for the present worth is equal to A over I, where A is 5,400, I is 0.12, then quantity 1 minus quantity 1 plus I to the negative n, then plus the present worth of this uniform geometric gradient, which is given by G sub n, or derived in the preceding slides by Gn, over G sub G rather, over 1 plus I, then quantity 1 minus Q to the n over 1 minus Q. So A over I 1 minus 1 plus I to negative n over I, plus G sub G over 1 plus I, then 1 minus Q to the n over 1 minus Q, where Q is 1 plus R, 1 plus 0.1 over 1 plus I, 1 plus 0.12. So 1.1 over 1.12, that's Q. The future worth is simply multiplying PGG by 1 plus I to the n. So if we multiply these two terms by 1 plus I to the n, the first term becomes future worth of annuity, which is A over I, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1. And this is after multiplying 1 plus I to the n, future worth of annuity, then G sub G over 1 plus I, 1 minus Q to the n over 1 minus Q times 1 plus I to the n. So the second formula becomes present worth of uniform geometric gradient is G sub G, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 times this quantity here. So there's no more 1 plus I. So Q is 1 plus 0.1 over 1.12. So that's why it is 55 over 56. And the future worth FGG becomes A, quantity 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I, plus G sub G times 1 plus I to the n minus 1, quantity 1 minus Q to the n over 1 minus Q. Using your calculator, with A equals 5,400 and I 0.15 and n, I is 0.12 and n 6. So 5,400, 1.12 to the 6 minus 1 over 0.12, plus 600 times 1.12 to the 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. Then 1 minus Q to the n, 55 or 56 to the 6, all over 1 minus Q. So using your calculator, the first term is 43,822.021, and the second value is 6,067.851. Adding, so it will give us the same value of 49,889.87. So my suggestion to this as your solution to be the first one, because you don't need to memorize here, because it is given that you can memorize the future worth of a single amount, which is present times 1 plus I to the n.